So another 4 hours worth of driving today, but then we will be at Lake Maggiore. And yeah, I think Gotthard Tunnel.
Yes.
I think again through Switzerland, but we do already have our Swiss vignette on the windscreen for 2025 because obviously we came earlier in the year to the lake. So yeah, it's one thing we don't have to buy on this trip.
Yeah.
Right, let's get things packed up and let's get on the road. Well, we thought tonight we would try the little pizzeria, which is kind of adjoined to the campsite. Roxy she was asleep until I said her name just then, so she's on the floor. But you've ordered something that sounds superb on the menu, haven't you?
Something about sliced beef steak with porcini mushrooms.
Should be superb, hopefully. Yeah, very much looking forward to this. So, having this next to the campsite is absolutely brilliant. There's a huge outdoor seating area. And the first thing we did when we arrived was come around here and had a beer. It's the law, I'm sure, when you pitch up at a new campsite, just having that first cool beer is just like heaven. And I tell you what, the view from this particular pizzeria and campsite is something to die for. Now, it might have been raining when we arrived, but when we had that beer, I swear I physically saw those clouds parting and the day was just getting better from there. So yes, absolutely brilliant location for this pizzeria. It's going to be stunning tomorrow when the sun's out, I'm absolutely sure. Well, look at that. That is one heck of a pizza. And Sarah's decided to go healthy and have a steak. So good on Sarah. It's very, very good. But that does look absolutely epic as well. I can't wait for this. And burrata cheese as well. Oh, my favourite. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Camping Lido, Cannero. So let me give you a quick tour round of this site. So if you're arriving here, the campsite's on the left, and you get a glimpse of the lake right down at the bottom there. Absolutely stunning. So you come in, you obviously have to check in, as you saw us do. You've got a check-in desk and everything on the side here, some good information leaflets and maps and bits and bobs in there, and then you've got this little mini market here, which has got a really nice kind of covered seating area out here. This is all very nice, and in a couple of minutes time I'm going to be coming down here and grabbing an espresso from the shop. They do, obviously, in there you can see they've got nice espresso, and it's a really nice little mini market for everything that you're going to need, fresh milk and all that kind of stuff, few bits of food in there and things, so beautiful. And then this is the campsite, so quite small really, just basically goes down, zigzags up and down around the toilet block, which is in the centre there. And that's pretty much your lot. So it's not huge, but let's go for a bit of a wander and I'll show you our pitch at the bottom. So when you are booking this, you choose basically how far away from the lake you are and what kind of size of pitch you want. So you can see, if I wander down this one here, you can see we've got the lake directly in front of us here. The whole site's on a bit of a slope as it goes down. And you've obviously got individual pitches like these ones here, all got electric. If you've got a smaller camper, you're probably fine on one of these central ones. There's some tents here as well. But as we start to get down towards the bottom of the lake, The pitches get a bit more expensive, and they call it the front of the line, but effectively that's the ones which are right at the very bottom. Nice English California there. Good morning to you. And now as we start to get to the bottom of the site, you can see this is where some of the most spectacular views are. So there's a pitch here on the left hand side, number 69, which is very small really, so kind of small camper slash tent, probably a tent only by the looks of this. Don't think they'd really want you driving over those stones, but that's an incredible tent pitch. And then our pitch here on the right hand side. So we might later on try and move our van round so the side door is facing the lake. We didn't really think about it when we got here yesterday, but we'll think about that, maybe do that a bit later on. But you can see this view of the lake at the end here is absolutely stunning through there. Absolutely beautiful. And one of the best things about this particular pitch on the bottom of the campsite, I mean, apart from the stunning views all around, is just round here, if I keep walking round, just round here is this. Now you might have seen us yesterday when we came and had a beer here, but if you go through this gate, just at the top here is the campsite pizzeria. And this is open, I think it's from 10 till 10, 7 days a week. And it's got a bar, gelateria, so obviously you can have ice cream and those kind of things. And you can sit outside or undercover or inside or with the dog, not a problem, and have a lovely drink, have a pizza for lunch. Good menu last night for dinner as well, not just pizza, all with this absolutely stunning backdrop. And if I spin round, this absolutely stunning outlook as well. Now, if I just come down here, just through the front, you can see how close we are to the lake. And so this walkway that I'm just walking along now runs all the way around the front of the bay here, all the way around to the Cannero Riviera little ferry port as well. So if you want to get a ferry across to somewhere else, which is what we're going to do today, it's very possible to do that. And there's steps there right down into the water. So Roxy had a good old paddle round yesterday. But yeah, look how close you are to the water's edge here. It's absolutely stunning. So just looking the other way, you've got pedalos, the swimming area down there and those kind of things. There's another little eatery down there. It's just so beautiful. Even when it's overcast like this, you've got the clouds which just kind of linger around the lake. Just truly stunning. Hopefully it's going to clear up a little bit through the course of the day. But even so, I think we could stay here for much longer time than we've got, unfortunately. So we're technically outside of the campsite here because there's a little chain link fence which separates this walkway and the campsite. But you can see, if I just come around here, you can see where our pitch is just at the bottom of the campsite there and how close that is to the lake here. Some lovely green open space here as well. So Roxy's able to have a really good run around on her long line. That one over there is having a lovely morning as well. And there's even a grass heliport here. So who knows, maybe we'll see some celebrities flying in. So we'll give you a bit more of a tour around the bay area as we walk in a little bit later on. We're going to go and try to get a boat up the coast today, and I think it goes about 12 or half 12, something like that. So I think the order of today is try and move the van around on the pitch so we get a bit of a view out of our side door. see how Sarah's getting ready, and then I think we'll go for a bit of a wander. So just coming around the other side of the site here then, this is where you've got all of the waste disposal, this is all of the wash-up area, and all of the things like a washing machine, tumble dryer, all the shower block and everything else. You've got your motorhome service here, waste disposal in the ground. And around the other side here, if you need to get rid of your chemical waste and that kind of thing, all just on the side. Well, seeing as Sarah was just finishing off getting ready, thought I'd better have a cappuccino, hadn't I? Start the day off well. Obviously got a croissant as well. And I tell you what, there is nothing like being back in Italy where they know how to price coffee properly. So, cappuccino, served to me, sitting outside here, €2.50. Absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, you can tell that they do it at the cost of other drinks like Coke and Red Bull. So if you wanted a Red Bull, just looking at the menu here, €3.50. If you wanted a Coke, €3. So, coffee, cheaper than Coke. Come on UK, catch up. Yes, so Lake View is now here. If I just come and stand on our side step. Oh yes. What a beautiful view to wake up to in the morning tomorrow. And it does look like it's getting a bit brighter today now. Right, well, we are going to go and see whether we can get the boat to Cannero, I think it is.
I think it's Cannero.
Yeah, that's the one.
Just up.
So going north on the boat, and it's about the furthest place you can go still in Italy, because Lake Maggiore obviously is half in Switzerland and half in Italy.
I don't think it's half. There's a good chunk of it in Switzerland.
There's a
anyway.
good chunk in Switzerland. So yeah, we're going to try and get the boat, and this walkway that I was talking about earlier on, this goes all the way to where the little terminal is. So let's go and see if we can get some tickets. So we'll show you some of these sites along the way, along the front here. It's not a long distance, but honestly, there's some beautiful natural waterfalls which come down straight out into the lake. The other side, stunning view on the way in.
So we're probably only a couple of 100 metres now from the campsite, and it opens out into this lovely little marina area. And here there's I wouldn't call it a supermarket. They've got a few bits and bobs in here, a couple of touristy bits and things too. A little cafe, bar, restaurant, pizzeria, and just over the other side as well. Really pretty. And the sun's just about starting to come out.
Now, when we wandered down here last night, this restaurant was closed, wasn't it?
It was.
Just on the side here.
It was
but,
Monday night.
It was Monday.
And I think basically out of season, which we kind of are now. There's quite a lot of stuff closed Monday nights. There were a few bits open though as well, and the campsite restaurant and bar was also open. That's open 7 days.
Yeah, this one looks nice though, doesn't it? We peered through the window. It looks very pleasant. So yeah, it could be worth checking out a little bit later on. So just as you go past this restaurant Europa, this is the Cannero Riviera ferry terminal.
So you'll be pleased to know that dogs are allowed on public transport, so both boats and buses. There's something about the height of the dog up to the withers, about whether it's 50 centimetres or less. I think that is basically whether you end up paying a bit for them or not. Not entirely sure whether it would be 150 or 350 euros. And I've never seen anybody get a tape measure out on it.
What do we think?
Well, if she's crouching, I think she's probably about 50 centimetres, to be honest. I've never measured her. But whether it's 150 or 350, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, does it? But they do usually insist on them wearing muzzles on public transport, so we always carry one around. Haven't had to put one on her yet when we've been in Italy, but don't want to end up being denied passage just because she hasn't got one. So we've got a very simple one. None of these she gets on with. This is just one of the very simple ones here. I'm not overly fond of these because she can't drink or eat particularly while she's wearing it, but she'd only be wearing it for 20 minutes or so on the boat. So not all that bad, and folds up really small.
So the boat that we're after goes at 12:35?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to come back when the ticket office opens at 12. We're also going to try and get some tickets to Luino for tomorrow because Sarah tells me we have to get the dog sorted out with something.
We have to go get her worming tablet sorted out for our return journey back, which can be done up to, well, between 24 and 120 hours before I think its arrival in the UK. So today would be the very earliest to do that. But seeing as Luino has a market tomorrow, we may as well kill two birds with one stone. So off to the vet and a market too.
Well, seeing as we've got a few minutes to kill, why don't we go up the long winding road then? So we're just going to have a look round Cannero. It's not very big, so don't come here expecting loads and loads of shops and streets of shops and all that kind of thing. But what it has got is some fantastic historic winding streets like this. They're absolutely beautiful. So as you would imagine, even in a small place, there is the local pharmacia, which hopefully we're not going to have to visit, are we? And there is a little supermarket, little Carrefour Express, which we did nip into yesterday and is very well stocked with everything in there. So despite its small size, actually you'd have no issues buying a good meal in there. Very, very well stocked.
Tickets are all purchased, so return for two to Cannero I think was about €14, just under. No ticket required for dog. Lady said hello, gave her a nice little pat, said no, she's all right. And we've pre-booked our tickets for Luino tomorrow as well, because she said it can get quite busy, and the boats after 10 o'clock are generally a little bit slow or late, so better to get on the early one, which is 9:05. So we'll need to crack on with things tomorrow.
That is not a face of content.
Not great with boats.
It does move a bit, doesn't it, this one?
It's feeling a little bit like a cork.
I think it's only because it's stationary. It'll be fine once it's going, won't it?
I hope so.
Welcome to Cannero then. Time to have a bit of explore, I think. This is definitely a typical thing that we seem to have started doing on holiday. Go somewhere on a boat, get off the boat, find somewhere to sit and then have a drink.
Yeah.
Immediately. I think we've walked like 50 yards.
If that.
But we're trying out this cafe. It's called Cafe Sport. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on, won't we?
It was busy, so we thought, why not?
That's what we thought. It looks busy. Yeah, and looks reasonably priced too. Yeah, so we've got beer and Hugo on the way, standard order, and a bit of lunch too.
Yeah.
Oh, as always, the food does not disappoint, does it? Even though we're in basically a touristy restaurant. This looks amazing. Oh yeah. Oh, that's better. Now we've been suitably fueled. Time to go exploring. Haven't we had a nice time looking around Cannero?
We have.
It's been really nice, and we're just going to grab the boat back now. There's obviously a few that run back in the afternoon, and it's 3:30 or so, so yeah, should be easy to get this one back, and a bit of a relaxing afternoon back at the van, I think. Well, it's another slightly rainy morning, and we are off across to Luino on the boat today to sort the dog out at the vet. So as Sarah explained before, we need to get her sorted out, ready for her return trip, and we thought we'd take this opportunity to go to Luino and have a look around there as well. So it's a 9:10 boat. That does feel early, for a holiday day, but needs must, and there is a market there today, so it should be good to check that out as well.
So we have been to the vet in Luino, and nice lady has administered worming tablet, signed all the paperwork, charged €10, absolute bargain. Did bring our own worming tablet though, because she was actually due to take it last week, and I thought it's not great to give her 2 worming tablets in the space of 2 weeks, but it is the right sort to bring her back to the UK, so that's all good. So we're off, and let's go have a look around the market.
Well, that's our little trip to Luino done, and guess what? The sun has finally come out. So lots of nice sitting around, having a drink, exploring and all that kind of stuff this afternoon, I think. Now there's actually some sunshine. So we thought we'd have a bit of an explore today. Out in the van, we've come down to Verbania, a bit further down the coast. And this is why we wanted to have nothing more than a 6-metre van, because this is a regular car park right next to the ferry port here in Verbania, and we've managed to find a space and squeeze it in, and I don't think this is really going to inconvenience anyone here. Yeah, so when you see where we are in the space, actually when we've overhung the back a bit, yes, we've got to overhang the back, but the path was going to nowhere anyway. Actually, that feels quite reasonable to me, and it was easy enough to reverse park it in, so time to go off and have an explore. It's a really nice little wander around Verbania. It's definitely more of a kind of fashion, clothing, nice homewares kind of place. Quite a lot going on there, quite a few shops to have a look around it, which is nice. Just had a nice little drink on the square, and I've been looking at TripAdvisor to try and find somewhere for lunch, and there's an out of town, kind of on the main road, cafe which does Italian style wraps. So I think maybe that's worth a try. Certainly gets good write-ups on TripAdvisor. Well, this certainly looks okay to me. Good selection. Sarah's on the same. Alcohol-free. Driving. Got to be careful. And the food looks, from the menu, pretty epic too, so I can't wait to see this. And voila! They look pretty special to me. Wow. Well, if you are here in Verbania, that is definitely worth a try. That was superb for a quick lunchtime bite to eat. Definitely worth trying. Well,
Our time at Lake Maggiore has come to an end.
coming. We haven't left yet.
Well, it's basically come to an end.
Yes, that's right. And it started raining again. I tell you what, changeable weather this time of year. So we're here mid to late September, aren't we? What, 26th of September today?
Late September, 26th of September.
It was mid when we arrived. Yeah, very changeable weather, but we've seen some good sun.
Yes.
We've seen some good rain. We've seen some good thunder.
Heck of thunderstorms.
And
heard
the lightning, yeah.
Yeah.
We just haven't had snow.
No, or hail, thankfully.
Anyway, this campsite, great location, a bit more sleepy than some of the sites that we've been to before, which is no bad thing actually, nice and relaxing. Obviously things that you can walk to that you've seen us do. If you're going to go for a run like I did, be warned it's quite hilly, so be ready for that.
Well, unless you just do backwards and forwards across the front.
Yeah, you could do that.
You find it's about 1 kilometre the entire length of the promenade, so yeah, you just keep going backwards and forwards.
You could do that. But yeah, great here with a little supermarket really close by, and obviously you've got the shop on the campsite and then the pizzeria next door, and
And
it's
the port.
really, really easy, isn't it? And the port,
yeah.
So going and exploring and stuff's really easy. Yesterday you saw us go off and do a bit of a drive down to Stresa and things, which was lovely. Lots of areas you can just pull in, even in a big 6-metre van. Not difficult finding a parking space at all, really. But bear in mind, mid to late September,
Yes.
not
Not
kind of
peak.
July, August, which I'm sure will be a lot busier. But actually, really nice area to explore, isn't it? And loads of other campsites around the other side of Lake Maggiore as you get towards Stresa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
worth
there's
checking
about
that out.
3 or 4 all in a row
Yeah.
down a particular bit of land.
Yeah.
Probably about 5-6 kilometres away from Stress or something like that. All look
Yeah.
really lovely.
So we'll put the prices for what we paid for this site just on the screen here on the bottom, so you can see, because I can't remember off the top of my head, unless you can.
It's about €50 a night, something like that.
Something like that. But bear in mind, we're on the front
take.
here, and they do price it in different ways. So if you're at the front, obviously that's different to
Yeah.
if you're further back on the site. But we wanted the lake view, didn't we?
Yeah, that includes tourist tax. So
Yeah.
there's a per person per night tourist tax. There's
Dog.
per dog.
Yeah.
Expensive hound.
Yeah.
She's not that expensive. Yeah, and the pricing structure basically as to how close you are to the lake gets more and more expensive. But you know, we always think to ourselves, you know, we've taken all this time and effort and energy to drive this far to come down to the Italian lakes.
Yeah.
Why would you go on to save a couple of euros a night? Why would you go on a pitch further back?
Got to be on the front one.
Yeah,
if
when
can.
you could actually, when the weather's nice, just open that sliding door and there you go. There's the lake.
There it is.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So
out there.
it's, in our opinion,
It's worth
worth
it.
doing. Unless you're really not fussed about it. The only danger point comes from, like we had at Garda, being the one
wind.
next to the lake can be the one that's exposed to the most or tumultuous of storms right next to the lake, and you walk slightly further back onto the campsite, it's not a breath of wind.
It's true.
Whilst we're wrestling with our awning and trying to keep it attached to the ground. So
But we've had none of that on this
No.
trip so far, which is
no,
good.
it's it seems like a really, really well sheltered site here. Actually,
It's in a bay, isn't it?
you know, when we've come back from the ferry a couple of days ago and it was blowing an absolute gale there was choppy white water on the lake and
There was.
everything. Walk around the corner to the campsite and you're like, oh, okay.
Nice and quiet.
Just a
Yeah.
small breeze.
So, driving off to Luxembourg today.
Long drive today.
Long drive today. I reckon 6.5 to 9 hours, and that's all basically dependent on the Gotthard tunnel, I think.
Yeah.
So how much you're going to queue there. We're going to be there probably about 11ish, I should think. It's about 8:30 now. So yeah, by the time we get up through Switzerland, up to the Gotthard tunnel, maybe a bit before that. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad, but we'll see, won't we?
We shall.
And off we go to Luxembourg for a couple of nights and somewhere new to explore on the way home.